Good morning, it's Bloomfield Auctions virtual viewing. It's Monday the 10th of August and we're virtual viewing today for tomorrow night's auction, Tuesday the 11th of August. Now before we start, we'll do the usual shout outs now for people. There's been a lot of people in touch this week asking could you say hello to me please. First of all is young Katie. Katie's an avid fan of our virtual viewing on Monday morning. She's a friend of Lydia's, she'll know who she is. So young Katie, good morning, hello, how are you? We're also going to mention the big man from Omagh, that's Ross Hussey, brother Ross Hussey. Ross, how are you this morning? Hope you're keeping very, very well. I'm glad you're keeping in touch every week. We also got to mention, of course, Gareth Gray. Gareth, good morning. How are you from Malile? Another one from Malile again. Not so much I can say about you. He coaches a football team of kids. They let him loose on kids. They couldn't let him near a main football team. I tried with the ladies, but he ended up with an harassment case. But anyway, Gareth, good morning. How are you this morning? Hope you're well. And finally, I want to say good morning to Darren Bain. Darren, you moaned at me at the weekend the fact that my other brother-in-law was mentioned. So Darren, this one's for you this morning. I hope you're keeping well. And yes, I've sent the half-naked signed photograph on its way to you. Big hugs and kisses from me this morning, Darren. So, moving on. Today's the 10th of August. The Northern Ireland Executive have asked that in retail we all wear our masks. So, Bloomfield Auctions has its very own brand of masks. It's multifunctional, multi-usable, and all proceeds are going to charity. So what do I mean when I say multifunctional? Well, here we go. We can wear it as a face mask as permitted. If you're on a plane or you don't sleep well at night, well, you can use it as a sleep mask at night. You can use it as a complete face mask if you really want to, so cover the whole face if you really want. I think I need a big one to cover my face. But the most important part of this, and it was amazing when I first identified this. I'll leave the cameraman to come with me. But you can also use this. Now, let me see if I do this right now. Hold on now. You can also use this if we put it over one's feet here on the right side. And then we put it over one's feet here on the left side. Right? We can also use these face masks. And I wouldn't recommend using them afterwards, by the way, until washed. But you can use them as a jock strap. Now, isn't that fantastic? Thank you to Claire Shields of Tribal Branding. The only thing is, I need something bigger, just as a jock strap, if you don't mind. Bloomfield Auctions jock straps, face masks, sleep masks, multifunctional. These are great, only £4.50 at Bloomfield Auctions. So if you don't have one when you come down, I'm going to take this off now. The strings get a wee bit in the back, but anyway. So there you have it. So government has said face masks must be worn. So I can't get these off, do you know that? There was also a guy mentioned on Saturday, who's this cameraman always being sacked? Well, it's Winky Brennan. He's behind the camera again this morning. He's still here, he hasn't been sacked yet. So, face mask. Oh no, I'll just put that in my pocket for later. Anyway, come with me. So this morning, guys, we have one man's collection of oil lamps in. Oil lamps were a big thing back in Victorian times. It was the only method of lighting before electricity and things like that. And we have a vast array of oil lamps, and if the cameraman's coming in and just gleaning off all the oil lamps. These are all in without reserve, some fantastic oil lamps. We'll go straight over as well to his other. So that's one selection of his oil lamps. And then on the other side of the room here, we have another fantastic collection of ones. Some of these being solid silver. This is one of our solid silver oil lamps. Some superb and rare oil lamps. And this lovely palm tree one here. I've got one here with a countertop bell and an inkwell, which is extremely rare. Another solid silver one. Another silver one only. But some fantastic lamps, lovely bowls and lovely shades. These are sure to create a huge amount of interest amongst those collectors of oil lamps. And across Northern Ireland, in fact across the world actually, there's a huge amount of collectors of oil lamps. We've been sending these as far away as New Zealand as of late. So there's collectors for these type of things right across the globe. So I don't want to spend too much time, if the cameraman just wants to glean over what we have in this morning, because obviously I spent too much time with the face mask and the multifunctional use of our face masks today. But with some nice furniture, some nice clocks, some nice reproduction mirrors, pub mirrors, reproduction automobilia signs, things like that. A lot of, and with some good military stuff in. Again, we've got daggers there. It's an Imperial German dagger with its sheath. Dating pre-World War I. We've got a nice antique pistol. We have RUC badges and buttons, pair of what's called 8 handcuffs. A lot of silver jewellery in again, nice silver rings, Art Deco style, Art Nouveau style, silver jewellery, and then silverware again. Once again, one man's collection of antique pistols, all cased, boxed, all in mint condition, with some fantastic gold jewellery in, a lot of it without reserve this morning, and with the price of gold at the minute, these are sure to create a huge amount of interest this morning. Again, we're still going through the gentleman's collection of pens and watches, so we have a number of collections of pens and watches in. We have some Republican ephemera in this week. This one was printed, let me see, I can't see without my glasses, do you know, this is getting worse. It's printed by Republican POWs, Long Kesh, produced by Republican Press Centre. So that was typical of what we've seen back in the 70s and 80s and potentially into the early 90s. In fact, some of us would still see it about now in certain areas. And on the back with another poster there as well. Typical very much of what we've seen in those days. We also have a lot of coins, some bronzes, some ivory, and a lot of postcards again in this week. When I talk about the reproduction pub morels, I'll just give you an example of two that we have in this week. So we have this Guinness one. Oh, I've just wrecked the place. So this Guinness reproduction mirror here, nice condition, look nice in any homegrown pub or indeed any pub in itself. And we then have this gilt frame one, the Irish Reformed Cordial 2. So plenty in this week again. We have our usual art, prints, tea sets, an abundance of other bits and tools, an abundance of other bits and pieces. So listen, thanks everyone who's asked for a shout out. Thanks for everyone who watches me every week. If you want one of these face masks, you know where to get them at Bloomfield Auctions. Remember, they're multifunctional and they are reusable. So please get in touch. Remember, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and subscribe to our YouTube page. But until next week, go for sold at Bloomfield Auctions.